Hello, welcome to the Father Samba podcast. I'm Father Samba. So I hope you liked this season 2 so far. Had some good guests, had some good conversations, had a lot of depth to it. I hope you enjoyed that. See, I just want to be able to serve you the best way that I possibly can, and by doing that, I just want to get your feedback. So I tested a couple of things out. I had one episode that was an hour long form. I also had different ones where there were segments instead. Sorry about that, that was a dog in the background. But yeah, we were able to give you that. You have a long form. Another thing I tried out was kind of splitting it into 4 different segments. So the conversation I had with Ray, it was the second one, I guess you can call it. I made a supercut of that with all 4 parts into one with a brief little interlude in between because, well, I had the theme song going on. Plus, I want you to know when one episode ends and another one begins. Kind of make sure it's all woven in, if you will. But yeah, if you couldn't tell by now, I'm by myself, like I am most of the time. But that's okay. I've learned to cope with my life and all the fun little adages and everything. But yeah, this is going to be kind of similar to season 1, this episode will be, but I hope you enjoy it. Kind of a throwback, if you will, for the 2 people who regularly listen to this show. So, yeah, if you're listening to the show, you probably know me in real life. So you probably know more about me than what I share in the show. But yeah, I lived on campus for 7 months of my junior year. Those were, without a doubt, probably the worst 7 months of my entire life. If the food at the dining hall wasn't bad enough, I didn't even have the stomach to handle it. Having a gluten allergy is easier to solve because, at least you have a preliminary to avoid eating food with gluten in it. But I had undiagnosed IBS, which felt like a literal crapshoot on what would and wouldn't mess me up that day. But I'm not here to talk about the inedible food or the hostile living situation, because you know what? I've got something different. Something a little bit more relatable, too. Even if you're non-college, you can relate to this if you live in an apartment complex. Don't you hate how no matter how many washing machines you have in your building, there never seems to be enough? You see, my floor had 3 washers and 3 dryers, but even that's wishful thinking. You see, the washers found a way to get your clothes wet without actually cleaning them. And don't get me started on the dryers, because that's yet another can of worms. No matter what detergent you use, the dryers always found a way to make your clothes smell worse than they did before you put them in the machine. So now your clothes are hot, damp, and smell like burnt hair. Oh, and let's not forget shrunken. And at least one machine was broken at all times. I don't know how, but the school found a way to pick the most unreliable models on the market. After about a month, it would have to be repaired. If airplanes had this rate of failure, you would never consider flying. But since it's for a bunch of horny 18-year-olds, they decide not to spend extra money on something functional. Here's what I hated the most about laundry on campus. The people. Because all the smart people lived off campus. You were stuck with all the dopey mouth breathers who don't know how to set a timer. Some of these jackasses, they would put their shit in the dryer and take a trip to Timbuktu. You never knew who it was, so you couldn't knock on their doors to tell them their clothes are done. For Christ's sake, set a timer or watch the clock if you're going to do laundry here. And please, don't act pissy if your clothes end up on top of the machine. Yeah, that was me. I would put it up top. I don't have all day to wait for the guy who's killed half his brain cells getting high every day this year. Here's my rule. They get 10 minutes. 10 minutes and they still haven't been responsible adults, I will take their clothes out of the machine. Once it reaches mid-11, I have no sympathy for them. I know that people probably hate me for this. They hate me for a host of reasons. But for this reason, they shouldn't be mad. This is a shared space, and I think you've taken more than you've given. Also, fuck you, take your laundry out. Yeah, I don't like people, so I avoid talking to them if ever possible. But with that comes a new bane of my existence. Texting. As much as I text, I have to admit that I hate it. For one thing, Autocorrect sucks. Everybody and their mother has complained about it, but there's a reason I even mention it. Autocorrect still sucks. It's atrocious. When will someone let them know that duck isn't that common in our vocabulary? I'm no expert, but there's a word along the avenue that's more commonly used. Yet F-U-C-K keeps getting turned into D-U-C-K. I don't know who they're trying to satisfy for changing that word. Who, children? We're not protecting children from that word. They say it more than you probably do. Besides, they're 7. You shouldn't give a phone to a 7-year-old. But if you do, maybe have it set to for children, so the duck song doesn't send little Jimmy off to porno sites. The next thing I can't stand is the text call balance. Some of you might get it. There are people who will call you for stuff that could have been spelled out in a text. So, how are you doing? Yeah, I was fine till you broke up my day. I thought someone was dying, but you're wasting my time with your small talk. Fuck small talk and fuck anyone who uses it. I'm a big talk guy. If your words don't serve a purpose, don't call me with your bullshit. Text it to me. Better yet, you've got these friends. Yes, friends. Out of all the people in this world, they're the people you hate a little bit less. You may tolerate them too. But some of these people, I swear to God, you send them a message and it's like they threw their phone to a river. Bonus points, they send you a message and then ignore your response. I'm not saying I'm a perfect texter. No, I use Do Not Disturb as a crutch to avoid responding to people. But I never put it off longer than an hour. Some of these people avoid their messages for days. How can you see my message and not respond? I have the uncontrollable urge to open messages, so it takes some commitment to not read that shit for months on end. Making plans with these people sucks. They'll take their sweet little time for 5-second decisions. What do you want? Coffee. Where do you want it? Starbucks. Simple, right? Not for these people. They'll leave you undelivered for hours and then make last-minute changes. Sorry, I know we planned to meet in the afternoon because that's when you're available, but can we reschedule it for later tonight? Okay, but why don't you tell me until after I got in my car and left? I left the house. I can't go back home yet. If I get back home too soon, my parents are going to start asking me questions. So, how did it go? It didn't happen. It got canceled. Who are you planning on seeing? It doesn't matter. Why won't you tell me? Why do you want to know? It's a whole ordeal. Why can't parents accept the fact that we can't all be doing crack and drugs? A select few do. But that ain't all of us, okay? You wouldn't be in this mess if you wouldn't be in this mess if people responded in a timely manner. So how do you stop it? Here's what I do. Give them a couple of days. 3 days tops. And if they still haven't responded, delete the message. I like doing this on Snapchat because then they get a new notification. And when they respond with, "Why did you delete it?" I pretend it expired. Because for me, it has. And you're probably thinking to yourself, stop, that's really toxic. It's not toxic. They'd respond if they cared. What if this was something urgent, like I was dying? I would have already died by the time they saw my message. So, to prepare them for emergencies, I check on them so they read my message when I send them. It's saving lives. Would they rather hear I'm okay or that I'm dead and that they could have prevented it? And if I did die, they could just ignore it, like they do with everything else. So that's all I've got for the scripted part, but I've got a real special treat for you. So I record a couple of rants in my car, and as you can tell, I love to rant. So you could probably see me in a more organic way if you kind of come to the car with me. So I'm going to totally open my car door. Okay, welcome to my car. Just kidding, this isn't my car. The audio quality is way too good, but we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to come back in 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is a bit of a bonus rant going on from my car. So if the audio quality really sucks, that's why. Okay, this isn't going to be a happy one. You know what I can't stand? I'm sick and tired of holidays. I used to like them as kids. I really did. But now it's the point where every time there's a holiday, I dread my friggin' existence. It's insane. And I'm sick of it. I just can't with holidays anymore. Labor Day. How do we celebrate it? Labor Day is meant to celebrate the brave people who worked in unions and helped to make sure that we had good working conditions. We originally had it in May, but, that's communism. So we decided to have it be in September, kind of to offset Memorial Day happening in May. Kind of show the start and end of summertime. Here's the problem, though. People don't celebrate it for the sake of celebrating labor. People do it to be as hedonistic as possible, burn as much shit as possible, and worst of all, drive to the same fucking places all at once because summer's over and they need one last hurrah. Look, I get it. Life sucks. The world is going to shit. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can really do about it. Blame the baby boomers. But here's my opinion. Here's my honest God opinion. Why do we all have to celebrate the same holidays at the same time? All it does is cause a massive rush for everything, a lack of resources, quite honestly, too many headaches. Also, have you ever worked retail on the day of a major holiday? Yeah, I did. I worked in the produce department on 4th of July one year. I went 2 years without crying, but after working 4th of July at night, I just had nothing. I just started crying. Working holidays in retail, time and a half is not enough. You're working twice as hard and you're not being paid twice as much. Quite honestly, Labor Day is just a mockery of the people who've worked hard before us. And seeing the way workers are losing their rights left and right, they can't afford to live anymore. Honestly, quite a mockery. The unions of old would be ashamed of how we've become as a country. They say nobody wants to work. Well, no one wants to work shit conditions at a shit job with shit pay. Quite honestly, that's why people turn to drinking and doing drugs and going to the same places to eat ungodly amounts of food on holidays. But I've got a solution for this. It doesn't have to all be bad. How about, rather than have everybody celebrate the same holidays at the same time, I think we should stagger it. Look, we have too many holidays as it is. We can't just delay a holiday by a week like the Orthodox Christians do with Easter. I mean, sure, they get cheaper deals on Easter candy, but pothole. But honestly, when a holiday happens, it should start on the day before the holiday and end right when the holiday's over. Maybe have another week for the sales because they didn't sell enough candy or whatever. But quite honestly, holidays are stretched out way too much. I mean, think about it. We're already in the Christmas season. It's September. September just started and we're already in Christmas. Fucking hell. Jesus would not be proud of this. Wasn't even born in December, assholes. And here you are, stretching out his fake birthday over 4 months. Son of a bitch. So how about this? You get assigned 3 holidays a year. There are a bunch of holidays. You get 3. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Take as many drugs as you want. Drink as much as you want. Eat as much as you want. Do whatever your heart damn desires. But you only celebrate during that day. After that, you need to return to normal. Be healthy. I'm saying a lot for America, but you need to try to be healthy at least 90% of the time. You can't live like a king and eat yourself to damn death, and drink yourself to death, and smoke yourself to death. That's not how you're meant to live. So I'm thinking, you gotta stretch out the holidays a little bit. You gotta stagger them too. Because honestly, do we need to hop from holiday to holiday as a society? Because life is so awful, we need an escape. We need to pretend that life is good like it was when we were kids. Quite honestly, Christmas is not as good as it used to be. It's not just because of COVID, it's not because of inflation. The spark is gone. It's too damn corporate. And I'm sick of Christmas music, goddammit. I'm sick of it. How many times do I have to hear that goddamn Mariah Carey song? But I swear to God, all I want for Christmas is you. I've heard too many goddamn times in my life. If Mariah Carey were that good, we'd listen to her all year round. No, she's limited to one song, and we listen to that song for 3 months. After that, we put her back in her pod, and then she sleeps through the rest of the year. I don't think she's angry. She's still getting paid. I mean, at least with Michael Bublé, he had a great Christmas album, but I'd like to hear more about him. Just more of him throughout the year. He's got some good songs. Damn good songs. I like what he does. Limiting him to just Christmas time is an insult. Because honestly, if we're going to have annoying repetitive music for holidays, why should it just be Christmas? Groundhog Day, they have that one polka song or whatever. I think there should be some more. I think, I'm going to write an album of just holiday songs, and it's not the end of the year songs. Maybe beginning of the year, when you look back at all the shit you didn't do and the shit you did do. God. Make you realize how much of a piece of shit you are. Happy holidays. But yeah, we've had enough songs about Christmas. I mean, we've had enough we had enough Santa Christmas songs. We have enough Jesus Christmas songs. Christmas songs with 5 verses that people don't even know about. We've had a couple of Halloween songs show up. Maybe a couple more. Do real Halloween, not 25-year-old people who peaked in high school and have bad relationships with their parents. I mean, we need to have good old-fashioned Halloween. Get the fear of the devil back in people. Because honestly, it's just people being creepy at this point. You wear black nail polish and black lipstick all the damn year. Why are you trying to ruin a pretty good holiday? While we're on the same page of staggering holidays, think about Halloween. Children are going outside wearing costumes. I live in Michigan, so October gets kind of cold. Why don't we put Halloween in the summertime? There's more sunlight, so kids can go outside a little bit more. If it's summertime, you can wear a costume, and you don't have to worry about it getting cold once it gets dark. I mean, yeah, it might dip to 60. 60 is manageable. But there have been some days where Halloween is like 40 degrees at night. Yeah, you can bundle up all you want, but it ruins the integrity. Do you really think C-3PO needs a winter coat? No, he didn't, assholes. Come on. Do you think a mummy, a toilet paper mummy, needs to wear a coat? No. In Egypt, they don't get snow. I mean, they don't get rain, let alone snow. I mean, for the love of God. Plus, people already dress in really tight, revealing outfits. Why can't you combine it in the season where people already wear tight, revealing outfits? Summertime and Halloween would be perfect. Because for the love of God, the end of the year has too many damn holidays in it, and I think it's becoming an epidemic. You see, kids are in school for just a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, we're thinking about Christmas. Good Lord, no, it's ordinary time. Can we just have a little time where things are normal? I mean, it's asking a lot for this day and age, but can we have times where we're not planning on getting all hedonistic? Thank you. That was me earlier in my car. Got one more little bit of a rant for you. This one is me in a traffic jam. Sorry, just gotta let you know the audio's a little bit bad, but I think it's got some good stuff if you're able to hear it. But thank you. This is one more rant. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so right now I'm stuck in a traffic jam on the highway. I left just a little bit early today, only about 5 minutes early. But you know what? I don't know what it is with people on the highway. It seems like they only get into crashes when there's no shoulder. It's happened to me too many times to count. I'm driving on the highway, all of a sudden, everyone's putting on their brake lights, which is never a good sign when you see brake lights on the highway. But worst of all is you need to figure out which lane is causing the problem. I've got a solution. If billboards now can have screens that can change the images, you just show traffic about a mile away. I want to see who's ruining my day. Is it some dipshit in the zoning board deciding to start construction at September? Or is it some idiot who's on their phone I want to see it. I'm curious. I want to see who is ruining my day. I mean, yeah, they call it a car accident, but you know what? I like to think of it as they intentionally did this just to piss me off. Is that too much to assume? Because, it sounds like a pretty safe assessment for me. Look, I've got a very narrow window of time in my day where people are decent. About 7 hours. Don't waste any of that time with your menial bullshit of, oh, I ran out of gas. Oh, he should have looked. You know what? Can't you be a little more considerate for the rest of us, lady? Can't you crash somewhere where I'm not driving? You're personally attacking me, lady, because you decided to get into a crash right then and there. I hate when other drivers have to also be assholes in this situation. You know the type. They're the ones when there's someone pulled over on the side of the road, they gotta slow down and look. I hate that. Look, they're on the side of the road, and there's a cop car. Pretty sure the cop can handle it, baby. Well, I mean, depending on the situation. The police around here are not very good, but you know what? Let's have the first responders deal with it. I don't think you, Karen, you're an accountant. You can't give CPR, you can't break them free from the damage. All you can do is get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Look, the speed limit is just a suggestion. It's an average of what speed cars need to go. And trucks already go too slow as it is. For real, I hate when trucks try to pass each other by going in the fast lane. Look, that's not your lane. You need to know your place. Look, what? Someone's going 1 mile an hour slower than you want. Okay, valid. We all have different speeds we want to go. But why do you have to slow all of us down, asshole? Look, the fast lane is called the fast lane because you go fast. You have to go fast in the fast lane. Here you are, you're going about 65. Yeah, here's the thing, asshole. The speed limit is 70. 70 is a very good speed for the fast lane. That's not a good speed. No, 80 is a good speed for the fast lane. Because you know what? It's for people who want to go a little bit above the speed limit, Break the law a little bit. Shh. Don't tell the cops. But I digress. You know what? Traffic is such a nightmare. Taking a look. The traffic jam started about 14 minutes ago. Of course, when I dice up this video, it's going to probably only be about 2 minutes of me talking. But, god damn it, some of us have to get to work. Why do you have to slow us down because of your dumb decisions? I saw a post online the other day. It was saying, traffic is just a chain reaction of human error. Wait a second. The right lane is blocked ahead. Son of a bitch, is that construction? I swear to God. Why do they never tell us this shit? They never tell us when construction is. The travel time to, 8 minutes. 8 minutes, my ass. I've barely budged for 8 minutes. 8 minutes got me 10 feet. Why do you have to block lanes like this? It's September, assholes. Okay, so, you're not gonna believe this. You know why we're slowed down? We're slowed down for no goddamn reason. No goddamn fucking reason. No reason, but we just slowed down just because God hates me. That's the reason. That is the real reason. How do I explain this to my boss? I show up 10 minutes late. Oh, sorry, boss, stuff happened. No, what happened? Nothing. What do you mean, nothing? Well, you see, nothing happened on the highway, and that's why I'm late. That does it. I'm tired of your excuses. I don't care that you live an hour away. You're fired. Fired? But I just started the job. Well, you just ended. Turn your card and get the hell out.